Hello, good evening, everybody.
Evening.
You're not allowed to say shortly that it's going to be like Bohema, like it's like Bohema tonight, because then you're going to have a problem with the bracha. You have to wait, not mention the words, get nervous about it from Shiur to Nacht, even actually from Plag. Okay, I'm over that. How is everyone? Any news? Where are you going on your outings tomorrow? I won't say the words. Who's going to have a haircut?
Go to the fridge.
Which bridge?
Daily outing.
Which bridge?
No, the fridge, the local fridge.
Oh, fridge. Ah. Gonna have you there anyway.
You're allowed on outings now officially.
Only from Wednesday, I understood.
Yeah, you can bring it. You can bring it a day forward. I don't think they're going to do anything.
Somebody told me that the Lake District are begging people not to come. Anyway.
Not to.
Yeah. When I talk, is it very, very stilted by you? Is it constantly like breaks in my speech, or can you hear me normally? Hello?
No, it's not so clear. It keeps breaking up.
Right through the whole shiur? Moshe, right through the whole shiur, does my voice keep breaking up?
No.
Occasionally, yeah, but not throughout the show. No.
Right. I was hoping.
Unless I'm not paying attention.
I tell you, somebody who I know, a good friend of mine, was very close to Rosh West Ham. He was close to him, not so much in learning, more as a friendship. And he told me they used to go to Rosh West Ham every Friday night, and invariably would always fall asleep. Young person, got kids. Friday night, go to Rosh West Ham, Shiur, fall asleep. So he once went to Rosh West Ham to apologize. So Rosh West Ham said to me, when I watch you sleeping, I feel that now I know that I'm definitely doing a good job. Because my divrei Torah, either they're right or wrong, whether they're inspiring, maybe not. But I know that if you're sleeping, you'll definitely be in some better mood for your wife and children when you get home. So then I know that my shiur is having some value. I thought it was a very, very sweet story about Rosh West Ham. It's a very sweet story. He was like a humble personality. Rashi in this week's parsha makes a cheshbon that if 5 people chase 100, the pasuk says 100 could chase 10,000. So Rashi asks the kasha that's mathematically incorrect. If 5 chase 100, kraliso, that's 1 to 20. 100 should then chase 2,000. Why can't they chase 10,000? So Rashi says, that when a lot of people do a mitzvah together, there's more schar. So I'm sure Rashi would approve of Zoom as well. And he would say at the end of the day, we could all go outside and learn in our back rooms and our bedrooms. We'll make an effort to learn at the same time, not always convenient for everybody, not always best time, and with a lot of noise and all the rest of it. But the fact is, Chazal say that when the Merubim Moisim a mitzvah, the Hakadosh gives much, much more schar. I start off already, this next 2 daf of Gemara is quite difficult in the sense that it's not things we're familiar with. And many things are like incantations, I'm not sure I'm saying the words right, kind of medical procedures which we've never heard of before, which don't seem to work nowadays. Okay, we'll see what we can. The Mishnah says, we're up to Samachei Omud Beis. Hakitea. Somebody was a kitea, somebody was missing a leg. Yoitze bekav shelo is allowed to go out with his, what's the good word for the word kav? It is a false foot, a wooden foot, a wooden leg. That says the Gemara, it's at the top of Samach Vav Amud Aleph. Rabbi Yossi Oisa. Rabbi Yossi forbids it. Rabbi Yossi forbids a person to go with a wooden leg. Rashi says in a couple of places, the reason is because it's neither clothes nor ornament. A wooden leg is not a clothes nor ornament. The Rishonim argue with Rashi, and they say the reason is, of course, it is a clothes, but the problem was that they would not. Oh, very good. Thank you very much, Yossi. The problem was that the wooden legs were not very well attached. Since they weren't so well attached, there was a problem that a person would come to take it off and carry it. The reason I mentioned both Rashi and the Rishonim is because there's a very important nafkamina halacha l'maisa, is that nowadays, if a person has a false foot, one is allowed to walk on Shabbos with it. Why? Because nowadays, they put them very well adjusted so they don't fall off, and they are considered a proper part of the body. People use them properly. In the old days, they weren't so brilliant, and therefore they were forbidden. Yossi, if you mind putting the picture back on, if it's got a place to put in the rags, Tommy, then it is Tommy. That picture, if you looked before, there were two pictures, one underneath the other. One of them, what you could do is, here, if there's a picture over here, like sometimes you can put in it rags. That means you can actually use the wooden stump as a place to store rags in order to make it more comfortable for the foot. So that was mekabel tumah, like any wooden bowl or any wooden cup, which you can put things inside is mekabel tumah. Oh, if you look at the second picture, I don't know what the first picture is, that the wood is completely flat, where you can't put anything inside it. On top, flat wood to walk on. The second picture, there's actually a base kibble. There's a place to store things inside. It's mekabel tumah. The next part of the mission is smuchos shloi mein medrus. Smuchos is when a person's missing, unfortunately, both legs. And what happens is he has to shuffle along the floor. He has to shuffle along the floor, so people would make leather straps around the foot. So that is smuchos. The main medrus. Not quite the same as the picture I was showing. I'm afraid I think you're showing us the third picture, not the second picture. Is there no picture in between? That's the next picture. The picture this is not the Pshat in our Mishnah. This is the next part of the Mishnah. What we were talking about now is the leather straps around the legs. So those Tmein Medras, they're tummy because you're leaning it on. When Yotz ben the Shabbos, you're allowed to go on Shabbos. When Nichnosim ben Ba'azor, and you're not allowed to go inside the Beis HaMikdash. But now the case is... What? Now, Yossi, this is the picture which you should have shown now, if you don't mind, is the third case.
Ik ga eerst morgen zelf een paar pick-ups en drop-offs doen. Misschien dat je dan het eigen zou moeten doen, even samen met z'n tweeën.
If a person is God, this is the picture which was, oh, no, now, Yossi, I'm very sorry. This is the picture you showed, was the previous one, the leather straps. But now the third picture is, a person's unable to walk at all. Oh, this is it. He's got a chair with wooden supports. Then those Tmein Medras, the Tmein Medras, because you're using them for support. Ben Yotzim Shabbos, you're not allowed to walk with them on Shabbos because they are not needed, Rashi says. Or Rashi says, and one of the pshat because they're not needed, or because of the fact that you may start carrying them instead of using them, then you might stop using them, just carry them. When you're not allowed to go to Beis HaMikdash. The more discusses this, more greater length. Look to me, the more gives a few explanations. Rashi says the pshat that it's masks, Purim masks, tohovin, they're toy because they're not really used for anything. You're not allowed to walk on Shabbos with a mask. So now it's so a Purim, sometimes it's a Shabbos, then you can't walk around. Here's a nice picture of a mask. I hope you all got proper nightmares tonight from this mask. Here, can you see a mask? Those are tummy and a toy because they don't actually create tumah. They're not worth anything. They're not a keli. Then you're not allowed to walk on Shabbos because you may easily come to carry it. Now, the Mishnah says a machlokes regarding a false leg. What's the word for it in English? A wooden foot. A wooden foot. The Mishnah brings a machlokes on Meir and Rabbi Yossi. For the next 10-15 lines of the Gemara, all the Gemara seeks to establish is which man the Omar says which. That means who says what. Did Rameir say mutter and Rabbi Yossi say asa? Or maybe it was the other way around. That's all the Gemara seeks to establish. Which way around does it say? Who said asa, who said mutter? I don't know. What's the halacha? I don't know. Itmo mashmol in akitea, the Rameir holds you're not allowed to. Not like Al Mishnah, which Rameir says you are allowed to. Shmuel's Gilsa was you're not allowed to. Rav Huna Eina Kitea. Rav Huna also had the opposite gilsa to our Mishnah, not allowed to. Omar Rav Yosef. Since there are two people that explain the Mishnah the opposite way from ours, they have the gilsa, they have the reading the opposite way around, we'll also read it the other way around. Did they not know that Rav Chaim was teaching the son of Rav? Chia bar Rav was the son of Rav in front of Rav. Imagine you're teaching the son of Rav and Rav's in front of him. Bikituna to be Rav in the small room in the base medrash, like that, a small room off the base medrash. That he read it the other way around from our Mishnah. And Rav said to him, "You've got it the wrong way around." So you see clearly that our gilsa is correct. If you want to write a simon to remember, Samach Samach. Rabbi Yossi, with a Samach to his name, says Ossa, which has a Samach. So Rabbi Yossi says Ossa. That's the way to remember. And that's the gilsa we have in our Mishnah. So far, all we've said is a machlokes, what's the gilsa? One man, some Shmuel and Rav Huna, they understood that Rabbi Meir says Ossa, Rabbi Yossi says Mutter. But Rav and our gilsa is the Amir says mutter and the Rabbi says asa. So it's more Rav Shmuel Hodabe, even Shmuel changes mind. It's nan. Halacha is if a man dies without children, then his brother has to marry the wife. That's called yibum. If he doesn't wish to, or nowadays we don't do yibum, then you do chalitza. Chalitza is the wife of the deceased goes up to the brother of an ex-husband, deceased husband, and takes off his shoe. But it has to be a real shoe. I won't spend time with Dan Steiner discussing because he once did chalitza. What exactly is a real shoe, right? It's a slipper, it's a shoe. So the basin actually have produced a real shoe. It's pure leather. It's got leather straps, not like our shoelaces, which are made out of string. I don't know what your shoe is made out of. My shoes are not made out of leather. So they made a special shoe that it should fill all the requirements. Because nowadays we're choshesh for every shitta possible because we do not know always how to pass them. In old days people were more makum. So we have over here like this. If the woman does chalitza with a sandal which does not belong to the that brother, or the sandal shalates, or it's made out of wood, or she puts the left shoe on his right leg and she takes that one off. Chalitza kasher, that's kosher. V'amino man tana. Rameya in our Mishnah that says a person is allowed to walk outside with a wooden foot is a right that Rameya holds that a wooden leg is considered a shoe. So he also holds that by chalitza a wooden shoe is also good enough. So therefore we see that Rameya is the one who permits it, and even Shmuel earlier said Rameya forbids it. Obviously, Shmuel changed his mind, and Rameya is one who permits it. Even Rav Huna changed his mind, and even Rav Huna changed his mind and said that what? The Rameya permits it, Rabbi Yosef forbids it. Not like before that he said the Rameya forbids and Rabbi Yosef permits. The Tanya. Sandals shall sayodim. There were people who used to paint, and when they used to paint, the shoes would get dirty. So what did they do? They used to take and put on a kind of, nowadays what we would call in the hospitals, they have what's called plastic shoes on, right? Or disposable shoes. But in those days for painters, they didn't have it. So they would have these shoes made out of like, what's the word for it? Bamboo sticks and things like that. I mean, it's very, very weak shoes. Tomei medras, the tomei because of leaning, because you walk on them. Isho chaletzis boy. But yotzim ben b'Shabbos. Yotzim ben Shabbos. See that word on Shabbos tivem kiva. And they did not agree with Rabbi Akiva that it's okay. We have another advice that says they did agree with him. Rameya holds it's okay, like we see in our Mishnah. That a wooden leg or wood is a good leg because Rameya holds that a wooden shoe is considered a normal shoe. So basically, back and forth, the same shaila again and again. Works the stuff in 3 places. Makes a chalitza regarding, a nafkimina regarding chalitza. Can you take the shoe off for chalitza if made out of wood? Can you use it, or can you walk with it on Shabbos? And furthermore, is it got tumah like a shoe or not? And that is a machlokes whether a shoe made out of wood is considered a proper shoe or not. Rabbi Yosef says, I have another mandoma. Who else doesn't agree? It's none. Here you have to read the Gilsa of the Vilna Gaon. It's clear from Rashi that Rashi had the Gilsa of the Vilna Gaon, not of what we have. If you look at the side more, it's the second letter of the Gaon. Machzeles akash, a bed made out of straw. V'shreferes akash, or a straw made out of straw. A straw meaning a drinking thing. A pipe made out of straw. Rabbi Akiva metame. Rabbi Akiva says it is tame because you can use it as a bed. Rabbi Yehuda metame. He says it is toy. Why does it say it's toy? Because he holds that something made out of straw is so weak and so useless, so to a shoe made out so is therefore it's not metame. But we don't pass them like that, and therefore you should be aware that if you buy mats made out of straw for your sukkah, if people have used it and made it for bed, it is forbidden. I was once in B&Q, and they had there fencing made out of bamboo sticks, which was made as a fence. You could buy it and cut it by the meter, and you could just easily, it's very loose. And somebody asked me if it's okay to use it for ischach. So I said to them, not really, it's actually not so straightforward, but there could be a very big problem with it, is that even though it's made out of straw, it's not actually straw, it's bamboo sticks, it's loose wood. Once it's made as a keli, we pass that as metame. Once it's metame, it's not kosher for schach. Okay. Rabbi Yehuda holds it's metoy because it's useless. So therefore, we've got machlokes, something made out of wooden clogs or straw clogs. Are they considered shoes or not? Sandal shesayodin tamei medras. The painters never used to walk with it. They just used to paint with these shoes. The painter would keep these disposable straw shoes over his normal shoes and walk home with them. And only when he came home, he would take them off. So therefore, they were used as walking implements, and therefore they were tamei medras. Says the Gemara weiter. If you remember the picture of the false leg, which has within it like a bowl, and in the bowl you can keep rags. The purpose of the rags was to sometimes soften the effort of walking on a stumped leg. So then that shoe was considered like a keli, and therefore it was tamei. It's tamei like a keli, like a bowl, which is tamei mace. But it's not tumas medras. Tumas medras, we mentioned this a few weeks ago. We mentioned it again. Tumas medras is anything that a person sleeps on, sits on, walks on. But there has to be one fundamental rule, and that is it has to be made for that. If it's not made for walking on, if it's not made for sleeping on, we mentioned, for example, if a lady sits down on a barrel of wine, then it's not tamei medras, because people don't use barrels of wine for sitting purposes. Therefore, it's not tamei medras. Abaya held that a stump is not properly meant for walking upon. It's a support, but it's not a proper tamei medras, and therefore it's only got tumas mace. Rava Omar af tamei medras. Omar Rava minah minarot. It's nan. Agola shel cotton, a baby buggy. Here you've got one. I'm sure you will see baby buggy. A baby buggy. So now, what would you say? What is it used for? Tamei medras. It's tamei medras. Why is it tamei medras? Yes, you got any nice pictures of this. Why is it tamei medras? Because of the fact that it's used for Rabbi Omar, Hossam there, Somichilave. You lean your entire body. It seems that this wooden stump was not really meant for walking. At the end of the day, it was a leg which didn't really work. It was just to help shuffle along, and they shouldn't rub against the floor. And therefore, since that's the case, it wasn't like a buggy. It wasn't like a stroller. Oh, I'm afraid to tell you, Yossi, you did a very nice picture. But this picture is Shittas Tosfos, not Rashi. I don't know why you brought this picture up. Rashi says that we're talking about a buggy. Tosfos says we're talking about a walker. And it's very interesting because according to Tosfos, this thing, this Fisher-Price story, would actually consider tamei medras, which is a much bigger chiddush than Rashi. Because a buggy, everybody would agree that a child is using it to lean upon. But this is even a bigger chiddush. This is Shittas Tosfos, what you've shown us. Look at the bottom Tosfos if you can. It's very interesting. I'm pleased you showed the picture. I wasn't sure that to read Tosfos, but since you've shown the picture, you mazakias in the Tosfos. The bottom taste, a person conscious, a buggy, which a child sits on. That's the greatest medrash we ever had. Is a buggy is the greatest medrash. It's meant for sitting on, and you push the buggy around. Nobody would ever say to a baby, "Why are you sitting in the buggy? Get out! Want to use the buggy for something else, the stroller for something else." No, that's what a stroller is made for. It's a kind of stroller which is meant for little children to teach them how to walk. In English, a walker. But it's made medras because why is it made medras? Why is a walker made medras? We said made medras is something you use to support yourself with. The answer is this baby, when he's learning to walk, he leans on it a very, very lot, right? If you ever seen a baby walking on these strollers, on walkers, they lean on it with all the bodies. So therefore, it's made medras. So again, we had machlokes about and Rava whether a wooden stump, a wooden leg is considered to be medras. Rava says, I'll prove it to you because because a baby stroller or baby walker is to be medras. Says Abai, you can't compare. Then they use it for support here and not. How do I prove that it's not Tommy? The tiny makal was a stick, a men's walking stick, right? Old people have a walking stick. Toy me kilometers toy, and it's not Tommy. So you see, why is it not Tommy? Or you lean on it? The answer is it's not really leaning your whole body. What you just do is it helps you. So we see that something which is not meant for properly sitting on is not to make medras. Similarly, a wooden leg is not to make medras. Rava say Hossam by a walking stick, top of some chvavamut base. Litzu would say sugya vida. It's only meant for a person to be able to get along and to be able to walk straight and not trip over all the stumbling blocks. It's meant to lean on the samechale, and it is a person's relying on. Therefore, everybody agrees that a baby walker or baby stroller is to make medras because it's leaned on. Everybody agrees that a walking stick is not tummy, because in the end of the day, a walking stick is not really meant for leaning on. It's meant just to help a person walk. The question is a wooden stump considered a Tmei Medras or not? We pass like Rava that is a Tmei Medras. Tmei Medras, when you eat ben Shabbos Ichnos ben Azor, says Tony Tana Kamidah Abich Ichnos ben Azor, you're allowed to go into the Azor. If you remember, that was the picture you showed of a person going about with a chair, and he's got these wooden blocks to walk along. He's allowed to go into the Azor. Omalei. I learned that woman's allowed to use chalitza. That was the chnosin. You're allowed to go into the Azor. The halach is not allowed to go into the Azor with shoes on. And these things are considered shoes. So these legs, which a person uses to walk with, they're considered shoes, and therefore you're not allowed to go into the Azor with it. Loiktmin tahova. My loiktmin. What are loiktmin? Well, gives three explanations what loiktmin are. A donkey which a person would do as a joke to pretend that he's carrying a donkey around with him. You can see over here. You see this person's carrying a model donkey around. Can you see it? That is toy, because at the end of the day it's not much use. Kshiri are stilts, right? It's actually quite sweet to walk on stilts. Not that I've ever done it, but it looks quite nice. Here is stilts, right? So stilts are also not tummy. Masks, right? We showed the picture of masks previously. So there are three pshatim what look to me are either stilts, masks, or these donkeys which you carry on your shoulder just to show that you can pretend that you're carrying a donkey. It's done for fun. All these three things you're not allowed to carry on Shabbos because it's not clothes. It's just an extra added item. And you're not allowed, and they're all toy, meaning none of them can become tummy because they're not keli. The Mishnah carries on with more halachas regarding what you're allowed to carry on Shabbos or not. Habonim Yitzim B'Kshom are allowed to go outside on Shabbos with notzam. Ubnei Melachim B'Zugim. It was normal for kings and princes to walk around with bells. B'chol Adam, everybody's allowed to wear a bell. Normally, it was more normal for a prince to wear a bell than for a normal person to wear a bell. My Kshom, what are these Kshom? Omar Rav Ada Moi, Omar Rav Nachman Bar Baruch, Omar Rav Ashi Bar Ovid, Omar Rav Yehuda, Kshurei Pur. Kshurei Pur was a kind of herb which if you tied it around your neck, it made you better. Omar Abai, Omri Aim, as is quite well known, Abaya was a Yossam. The word Abaya is actually Rosh Tevas, Asher B'cho Yerucham Yossam. By you, Hashem, Yesomim get Rachmanos. Hashem has special Rachmanos on Yesomim. Word Abaya stands for the fact that Hashem has Rachmanos on Yesomim. Abaya never actually remembered his mother. All he remembered was the nurse that looked after him. So whenever he said, Omri Aim, my mother said, he means the nurse that brought him up told me. Telosa, if a person has 3 knots made out of this herb, moikmi will make a person not get more not well, or stay well. Chamishon masu, if he has 5 knots, the more will happen is to get completely better. Shivo afilu l'chshofim mali, they will even heal a person from witchcraft. I do not know what these knots are made out of, and it's not clear either in the Meforshim. And we're going to see many of these Gemara not so clear. That these knots only work as long as they never expose these knots of these herbs either to the sun or to the moon. If these knots have ever been exposed to the sun or the moon, they're no good. And they've never been exposed to rain. And they've never been exposed to the sound of kol barzel, or the sound of metal. Kol tanagoloisa, the sound of a chicken, the kol nagri, and the sound of steps. For these knots to work around the neck, it is necessary that they should not have ever heard the sound of chickens, metal, footsteps, not to see the sun and the moon or rain. This healing has fallen into the well, meaning it's completely impractical, and nobody will ever find something that never got exposed to sunlight, to the moonlight, and everything. It's a waste of time. Okay. So the Gemara so far said, the Mishnah told us a child's allowed to go out with Kshoy. The Gemara asked, what is exactly is Kshoy? And the Gemara gave us explanation. And the Gemara gave us certain ramifications when it works. Now the Gemara challenges the whole explanation to our Mishnah. Why is Mishnah talk about sons? Even daughters should be permitted. Why is Mishnah talk about little boys? Talk about little girls. And why little boys? Talk about big boys as well. Elomai Kshon says a different pshat completely. If a son is missing his father very, very lot, what should you do? You should take the shoelace from your right shoe and tie it on his left hand. And in that way, the memory of seeing his father's shoelace on his hand calms the child down. It's like tefillin, when you put your tefillin on your left hand and you tie it with your right hand. So too, you take the shoelace from the right shoe of the father and put it on the left hand of the child. If you take the shoelace of the left shoe of the father and you put it on the right hand of the child, then the child will remember the father so much by seeing the shoelace that it will cause danger, because he will yearn for his father so much that he will become so homesick that it's actually dangerous. Taking a cup which is very hot, turning it upside down, and putting it on one's stomach, on one's navel to be precise, is permitted. And that would get rid of stomach aches. And this is a very interesting halacha. It might sound not negaya, but it is negaya l'maisa. For example, the Heza halacha, you're not allowed to do medication on Shabbos. A very chomodik halacha, we do not do medicine on Shabbos. A gzeira, b'shem shchikas hamonim, might come to grind herbs. We're going to have many halachas about this. But here the Gemara is telling us that you're allowed to put a hot cup on top of your stomach. The reason is, the Meforshim explain, because here it's not medicine of any herbs. It is just an action. It's just a pa'ula. It's just a behavior. So therefore, if somebody would ask you, are you allowed to get a massage on Shabbos? What would you say? According to this Gemara, would you be allowed to get a massage? Let's say you're not well. I didn't catch that, sorry.
Yes, because there are not any herbs involved.
Oh, yes. Like you're allowed to do this, you'd be allowed to, just like you're allowed to put a hot cup on top of your tummy, you'd be also allowed to have a massage on Shabbos, because we see only herb things, only things which are only medication, but actions are permitted. And now the Gemara is going to give us a list of actions, a list of movements which heal a person and are permitted on Shabbos. You're allowed to soak yourself with salt and oil on Shabbos, and it would get rid of somebody who was drunk. If somebody was drunk, then you're allowed to massage them with oil and salt to make them better. These are Meroim of Huna from Rav from Shachir from Rabbi Kavin Mivsmi. They would come home from this weather shikah. Ma'asim mishcha u'melcha. They would take salt and oil. They would rub it on the inside of the hands, meaning the palms of the hands. And the inside of the legs, meaning the palms of the legs. And they would say as follows, and this would make them better. Just like it has been watered down, this oil, it has been weakened. Let us weaken the alcohol level of so and so, the son of so and so, and this would work. If you don't have any oil around, Maisi should take Shiur dedano, an earthenware lid made out of wax or clay. Soak in water. And you say, just like this seal has become thin, it's become weakened. The wine of so and so should become weak and therefore not so shikah. A person is allowed to strangle himself on Shabbos to make himself better. Oh, I should have shown you a few pictures. Here's the person wearing the knots we discussed earlier. That 3, the Gemara says, make the person stay better. 5, make a person completely better. And 7 makes for witchcraft. Here's the bell that kings wear. Kings wear bells. And here's a person strangling himself. The reason why a person would strangle himself is if he felt that his spine was out of place. So then what would happen is he would hang himself in a particular position, and obviously not in a way that he would die, but just in a way that would make the spine and the neck get back into the right position. Sometimes if I'm sitting learning for a few hours, and I get up, I find that my back starts creaking. And therefore, I don't know if hanging would help my back more. But the point is, if you're sitting like this, and then you need to stretch out your neck, so you're allowed to do that on Shabbos. And why are you allowed to do that on Shabbos? Before is also on Shabbos. And it's for the same logic. It's because you're not actually doing medication is forbidden. But something which is not medication is permitted, like a hot water bottle, or massage, or a walk, for example. The Mishnah talks about, okay, the walk is permitted for other reasons. Let's say a person has constipation, and going for a walk helps him. These are all things which are permitted. Wrapping a baby in very tight clothes to keep his position of his limbs in the right place is permitted. Because again, it's a healing without medication. The next few lines of the Gemara look very complicated, but it's very straightforward. It's just an argument, who said what? Who heard the last 2 halachas that we learned about wrapping a child up and what's the word for it? And the Mishnah, which talks about knots on Shabbos, who said what? So what's okay? So Papa Masni Bonim, he learned sons plural, meaning he learned 2 halachas regarding healing a child. Zvid Masni Ben, only 1 halacha. And we'll explain. Papa Masni Bonim, Vitshurvayu Masni Robin Bahuna. He learned them both from Robin Bahuna. Zvid Masni Ben Kamaisa, the first one. Masni Ben. Sorry, he only learned 1 halacha about a son. Kamaisa, the first halacha, Masni Bovin Bahuna. That he learned from Ovin Bahuna, that he learned the first one regarding, he only learned from Ovin Bahuna. But hi, this halacha, Masna Bava Baba Chana. That means there were 2 statements about children. One is about the knots that they're allowed to wear on Shabbos, and one is that you're allowed to wrap them up in cloths to keep them in a good position. So a Papa learned both of them from Ovin Bahuna, and a Zvid learned one of them from Ovin Bahuna, and the other halacha he learned from Rabba Baba Chana, but not arguing in any halachas. They're just arguing who said what. Amar Abai, Omri Ein. Kol minyono, any time that you have to say a incantation, which is a hard word for you to pronounce. So just anytime you have to say a skula to make somebody better, bishmod de'imah, you should mention the mother's name. So let's say somebody has to say a skula to get better, you should mention the mother's name. In fact, if you daven for somebody, you say so-and-so, the son, and you mention the mother's name. Like we say in Tehillim, Avdecha, Ani Avdecha ben Amosecha, of your maidservant. When David HaMelech davens for himself, he says, the son of my mother was a maidservant of Hashem. V'chol katri, whenever you tie something, besmoile, you should always tie it to your left. All skullers, you should tie it to your left hand. All of these skullers, incantations, which you have to say, you should say the number of times which it says in the remes, in the skula. If it doesn't have a number, you should say it 41 times. Now, the next Gemara goes on and on about all these skulas. We do not understand them. And Rashi even says some of the words don't even make sense, Rashi says. It's just words that you say to make people better. But these were skulas that Chachamim knew, and there's obviously great depths which we do not aware of. I want to talk about one tiny little thing. Is Meforshim asked the question, why is it when we daven for somebody, do we daven by his mother's name, and when somebody's nifter, do we say the nishmas, we say the father's name? Why when we daven? The Gemara over here points it out on a slight point. And when you say a skula, you say with the mother's name, not the father's name. So, as I mentioned, the Pasuk says, "Ani avdecha ben amosecha," that David HaMelech, when he davened for himself, mentioned his mother. So it's very interesting. There's a sefer called Torah Lishma, and he says there that women generally do less averos than men for a variety of reasons. One is that since they're not mechuyev in Talmud Torah, so therefore never either the avei or bittul Torah. Secondly, he says women are generally closer to Hashem. Therefore, since we daven, we want a skula, want something to get better, we mention the mother rather than the father. To Santa Sefer and Santa Ma'amokim. Another interesting shot, not from him, from a different Sefer, he says like this, that it's brought down in the Sifta, he says like this, that by a mother, it's definite who one's mother is. By a father, it's not always 100% sure. Therefore, it only goes according to Rov. When a person's davening, we want to be certain we're davening for the right person, so we mention the mother's name. Okay. But either way, when you're davening for the mother's name. Tonu Rabbanon. Yotzin be'evan tekuma. A person is allowed to go out with a stone which helps a woman not to miscarry the Shabbos. Even something which weighs against the evan tekuma. Not we're talking about a woman that has miscarried in the past, even if it's just a chashash that she might miscarry. But even if she's not actually expecting, a woman's allowed to go out with the evan tekuma on Shabbos, even if she's not expecting, and even if she's never miscarried, in case she might become expecting and she might miscarry. As long as the weight is already correct. If the weight is not exact, then it doesn't help. If it doesn't help, then you can't use it. A weight against the weight, does it work or not? Here is a weight, right? You've got an evan tekuma, there's an evan tekuma, and there's a weight against it. Now, for some reason, the properties of evan tekuma had the ability to spread from the evan tekuma to anything weighed against it. And therefore, if you're allowed to carry on Shabbos something weighed against it, because that was also part of the healing process. But the Gemara over here is not sure something weighed against something else which is weighed, is that also have the healing purposes or not? My mother, meaning my nurse, told me, for somebody who's got temperature for 1 day, fever of 1 day, he should take a white coin. He should go to a salty place. A salty place is where the sea used to be, and then the water's gone away, and all the water that was left dried out. You had that by the Yam Melech, areas which the salt has been dried out. But this you should take the weight of the coin in salt. And you should wrap it and hang it by the opening of your neck. With one hair. You should take the weight and salt of the coin, wrap it, hang it by your neck with a hair. If you can't get hold of it, you should sit by a crossroads. When you see a big ant, A-N-T, like a little tiny creature, the doi midi, that's carrying something. Lishkele, you take this ant. Velishte begumsat nochsha, put it in a copper pipe. Velistame be'ever, close it with lead. Velichtme bestitin gushpeneki, and close it up with 60 seals. Velibilzule velidre, you should shake it and throw it. Velei, and you should say to it, to unochalai to noyaloch, your burden I will carry, and you carry my burden, you carry the temperature. Maybe this ant was used by another person at temperature, and by you saying that I'll take your burden and you take mine, you're going to end up carrying the illness which the ant has taken on from someone else. Rather, you should say to it that what you should say to it is Nahal, sorry. Your burden and my burden should be on you, the ant. If you can't get a hold of this ant, take a new cup made out of earthenware. Go to the river. You should say to the river, now, lend me a cup of water for the illness that came onto me. You should take it around your head 7 times. Throw the water behind you. And you should say to the river, now, take away the water, obviously, that you've given to me. The illness that arrived to me, today it came, today it will go. So if a person got an illness, there are 3 options to get better. One is to take a coin and take it to a salty place, get the weight of salt, hang it around his neck with a string made out of hair. Or he should take an ant, put it into a lead piping, seal it 60 times, and tell the ant to take away the burden. Or take a cup of water, put it around his head, shake it and throw it behind, and say the river should take away the illness. As I said, Rashi himself, so some of these things, we have no idea what it means. Well, actually, I should say all of these things, we have no idea what it means. But there's some ideas. Le'ishta tilsa, for an illness which lasted for 3 days. Lacy, you should take Shiva Silvi. These are a lot of interesting words. You should take 7 small branches, Shiva Dikri, from 7 date trees. Shiva Tsivi, and you should take 7 splinters, Shiva Kashuri, from 7 beams. Shiva Siki, Shiva Gashuri, and you should take 7 pegs from 7 bridges. Shiva Katimi, Shiva Tanuri, you should take 7 piles of ash from 7 ovens. Shiva Afri, Shiva Sanri, and you should take 7 pieces of dirt from 7 door sockets. Shiva Kufri, Shiva Arbi, and you should take 7 specimens of pitch from 7 ships. Shiva Buni, Kimuni, and 7 kernels of kimuni is a kind of spice. Shiva Bini, Medikna de Kardasava, and 7 hairs from an old dog, from the beard of an old dog. You should wrap them and tie them in the opening of the neck. With a string made out of hair. So this is another healing. You should take 7 of many different kinds of things for somebody who has an illness for 3 days. From a very, very harsh fever. You should take a knife made completely out of iron. And you should go to where there's a thorn bush. And you should tie onto the bush a hair. And then Yomi, the first day, you should make a small notch inside the thorn bush. You should say the pasuk, the pasuk which says that Hashem appeared to Moshe Rabbeinu in a thorn bush. And then the next day, you should cut another bit more. Let me turn aside and see the thorn bush. And on the third day, you should cut a little bit more. And Hashem saw him coming to see. And what did Hashem say to him? Keep away. Just like Hashem said to Moshe Rabbeinu, keep away from the thorn bush. Similarly, we're saying to the person who's not well, he should do all of this to the thorn bush. And in that way, daven that the thorn bush should take away his temperature. Hashem should take away the temperature through the thorn bush. Why talk about the pasuk that he turned away? Talk about the pasuk where Hashem said to him, "Don't come near." And Yomi Kama, so I should said before, the first pshat of the Gemara was that you quote the pasuk that Hashem said that he turned away. He turned away from the fire to go and see, which is the expression of the temperature going away. Now the Gemara says a different pshat, that you actually say two psukim of turning away. Hashem appeared to him. And the second day you say, Moshe wanted to come and see, that Moshe wanted to see, and Hashem saw that he was turning to see. So you say two psukim, and then you add the pasuk that he turned to see, which is the expression of turning away. On the third day, Hashem said to him, "Don't come near." So by taking this bush of thorn bush and tying a hair to it and cutting every day, that is a skula to make it take away temperature. When the temperature has gone away, you should go and cut the bush, and you should say as follows. The reason why Hashem dwelt on you is not because the burning bush is the highest of all trees. Because they are the lowest of all plants. That's where Hashem rested on you. Just like when the fire saw Hanan and Mishol v'Azariah, when the fire, when Hanan and Mishol v'Azariah were thrown into the fire for not bowing down to Nebuchadnezzar's idol, the fire ran away. So too the fire should see me, the son of so and so, the woman, the mother, and it should run away from me. So these are all scholars to get rid of temperature. That is saying, just like the fire ran away from Hanan, Mishol, Azariah, it should run away from me. Lisimta, if a person has boils, lema hochi, what should he say? Baz bazayo, mas masayo, kas kasayo, sharli varmaloi. Rashi says that these are just words which are part of the incantation, where they're not actually teaching anything, but rather they're just words to get rid of the illness. Furthermore, the word bazayo means to cut. Messiah means to heal. Kasyo means to grind down. So we're asking that the illness should be cut, healed, and cut down. But the other words, indeed, they have no explanations. These were the malachim that were sent from Stoim. But Rashi says they were not actually sent from Stoim. It's just words that we say. If you look in Rashi, kachu alachash, that's the words you say. Rashi says these malachim don't come from Stoim. I don't know how Rashi knows. And they should heal my painful boils. And then you should say as follows: Bazoch, bazich, bazbozich, masmosich, kamoin, kamich. These are the words that a person should say, which have Rashi again. If you look in Rashi, Shemu is malachim, right? Enu mashmos el kachu alachash has no meaning. That's just the words you say, and you say as follows: Enaich bech, enaich bech. Your color should stay the same. You're speaking to the boils, that the color should stay the same. Asrich bech, the place where you are should stay. Zarich, your seed, meaning your fruition. Kekolut uchepvoda. Kolut is somebody that has no children, right? He's stuck. He's got no children. Uchepvoda is a mule. A mule can't have children. So your seed, meaning the boils, should be like a mule. A mule can't have children. A mule is an animal born from a mixture of a horse and a donkey. And the baby born can't have further children. So you're saying to the boils, don't you have children either. That does not increase. So too the boils should not increase in the body of so-and-so. If a person has blisters, you should say as follows. Cherev shelufa, a sword stretched out, unsheathed. The kalo netusha, and a slingshot ready. Lo shmei Yochav, its name is not Yochav. Cholin machoivin, and its illness are very painful, and somehow that would get rid of all blisters. The shida, for a demon, that's a shade. What should you say? Havius the pokik havos. You were blocked up you shall be. Lito, you should be cursed. Tovu, you should be broken. Umeshumot, you should be in the cherem. Bartit, the one who's made out of clay. Bartome, the one that is tome. Bartino, the one that is made out of cement. Keshamgas, Mevikas, Bastemoy. And that you should be the names of Shamgas, Mevigas, and Istemoi. These were names of Shadim, which we want to get rid of. Leshida de Beisakisse, if you've got a demon coming from a bathroom, you should say as follows. Akakafi Dari, on the head of a lion, Ba'asur de Guraisa, and the nostrils of a female lion, Ashkechtun, you can find the Shidoi Bar Shiriko, the shade which is called Shiroi Shido, the shade, Bar Shirkoi Panda. The name of the shade was called Bar Shirka Panda. The Mesho Decharti Chavte, and I hit it in a field. Decharti is of leeks. Belua Dechama Chatrose, and with a bone of a donkey, I've hit it. And these are all the different shadim, and we're going to have actually a whole list more of these later. So I hope you memorize them all. And Chas Shalom, if a person's ever not well, you will know what to say and what to do to make them better. And the Gemara carries on. Ubadei Malachi bezagin with bells. Man Tana. Who is the Tana that allows a Yid to walk around with a bell on Shabbos? Shimon holds that all of Klal Yisrael are royalty, and all of them can behave in royal ways because we're all really a nation of kings. We're talking about a situation where it's woven into their clothes, and therefore everybody agrees it's permitted. The Rishonim discusses a little bit, just say very briefly. Rashi says that if you hold that Klal Yisrael are not kings, and a person walks around with a bell, what's going to happen? People will laugh at him and say, "Yeah, you think you're so special walking around with a bell, or come to take it off." And that's why the Gemara answers that we're not talking about a bell which is being held and easily carried, but rather it's sewed into the clothes, and therefore it's not a problem. That it's going to be worse, because if it's sewed into the clothes, there's a chashash always, something sewn into the clothes that they might fall off the clothes. And if it falls off the clothes, you may come to carry it because now it's not hanging in your clothes. So Tosfos says differently. Tosfos says that the chiddush is that we're talking about a normal person carrying it, and the chiddush is that since Klal Yisrael is so special, even when they carry a bell, even when they carry it in their hands, it is considered an ornament, like we had once before. Certain things that a person carries in their hand is also okay. Because at the end of the day, it is it's what a person uses to adorn themselves, like a ring. Since it's normal for Klal Yisrael to behave like royalty, so therefore it is okay even if they're carrying it in their hand. Says the Mishnah more of these strange things. You're allowed to walk on Shabbos with an egg from a locust called chargut. Or the tooth of a fox. I've actually, about 10-15 years ago, I once read somewhere, I can't remember where, that even nowadays they believe that the tooth of a fox has healing powers. I don't know if any of you have read it, but there's actually a couple of places in Shas where the Gemara discusses the tooth of a fox as being a healing purpose. A nail from a hanging place where somebody's just been hung. If you take a nail out of the gallows, that has healing purposes. There are many forms of healing which the Moiroim used in their form of Avodah Zarah, and if the Chachamim hold that it's forbidden, even when it's not Shabbos, never mind the weekday. And the question always is it a genuine healing power and then it's permitted, or is it based on witchcraft and then it's forbidden? And this, we're going to have a very long sugya about this now, which things are permitted, which things are forbidden. So the Gemara says like this. It was made for shichlo. Shichlo was for erik. If a person had an erik and you carried around an egg from a locust, then it would make you better. If a person had trouble sleeping, a live fox's tooth, if a person falls asleep all the time, you should walk around with a fox's tooth which is alive. The misa, leman the loinan. If a person can't fall asleep, he should take the tooth of a fox that is dead, and then holding the tooth of a fox that is dead will help a person fall asleep. A nail from a hanging from a gallows, they heal. What does it help for? It helps for a swelling. If a person has a swelling and he takes a nail from the gallows, then that nail will make him better. Anything which has got healing purposes is not dark and is permitted. If it's got no healing purposes, if a tree sheds its fruit too quickly, you paint it with red paint. And you place stones over the tree's branches, right? If you've got a tree that sheds the fruit too quickly, paint the tree red and put stones on its branches. The more explains. The idea of loading it with stones in order to weaken it. Once it is weak, meaning once you hang stones on it, it weakens it. Once it weakens it, so therefore it takes longer for the fruit to ripen, and then the fruit will not fall off the tree so quickly that the sun will ripen them properly. We have a tree, and the fruit fall off too quickly. So by putting stones on the branches, it weakens the tree, and then what happens is that it won't shed the fruit so quickly, and then the fruit will stay on longer and get ripened from the sun. But painting it red, how is that going to make a tree any better? Since it doesn't make a tree better, the only way it works with is witchcraft. And Afapikane, it says, even so, it says it's permitted. Is a rag, not like a bar robber, because a bar robber said only something which has got healing powers is permitted. Anything that has no healing powers is forbidden. And this painting it red, what healing powers does it have? And some more, that people should see it. What happens is by painting the tree red, people walking past see it, and they say, why is it painted red? It must be because there's something wrong with the tree. And then they start dabbling for it, and that will heal the tree. He has to announce his tummy. Therefore, people will daven for him, and therefore painting it red does have a value, because what happens is painting it red makes people aware of the problem and they daven for it.
Nossi Burns once told us.
What?
Nossi Burns once told us that the fish bone said chad nachas bala or something.
Next Gemara. That's a famous Gemara. It's the next, not managed the next line, but 2-3 lines. Says the Gemara, according to who do we hang date trees? Or the date tree where the dates are not ripe, you hang on it a bunch of unripe dates. By hanging unripe dates on this tree, it tells people that this tree doesn't produce very good fruit, and people down for it and it gets it better. He said in front of the Amoroim in the Beis Medrash of Abchia, except for these. If a person got a bone in his throat, maybe let's say Hashem got a meat bone stuck in your throat. What should you do? Take another meat bone, put it on the top of your forehead. This sharp thing should go down. This thing should swallow up and go down the sharp thing. And there's no problem, it works. If it's a fish bone, which is bedded like a needle, locked like a shutter, shaya, go down. So if a person ever has a bone stuck in his throat, and this is one of the few scholars that people say actually work nowadays. That if a person, that's what you were saying from Nossi Burns, that if a person that has a bone stuck in his throat, he should say these words, chad nochis bola nochis chad, and that will help the bone go down. The same Zondam Salant was well known that if people had these kinds of choking things, he would say it, and the thing would go away straight away. So now we're up to Samach Zayin with base. We're going to stop. The rest of the Gemara to the end of the Perek is very similar. and not going to spend a long time on it because of the fact that we don't really understand what's going on. It's all about just different incantations and all kinds of things that make a person better, which already years ago, Mashal and others tell us that nowadays we don't rely on these things and we don't understand Nishtanu Ativim, nature has changed and everything else. But because the part of Gemara, it's a common for Gemara to go through it, and therefore we'll go through it. But Mitzvah Shem tomorrow will be starting, and you play could be a sim tomorrow. If everybody can have a lechaim, the nice thing, to finish quite a long perek. And then we have Kal Goda, which is actually a much shorter perek, but it's already got much more halachas. Any questions? Any questions? No questions? Nobody should talk about what day it is today until after the day that about Mountain Omer. Because if you mention one between now and Nacht, you will have a short of making the bracha. It's quite difficult. Everybody talks about all the.
Were we meant to say Tachana and Mincha today?
No.
I did not say Tachana.
I did.
Some do say Tachana.
You did?
Before.
I didn't. Some do.
I didn't, and I regret. I didn't say the Erev Pesach Sheni, and that was a mistake. I checked it up after I didn't say it, because I thought you weren't supposed to. I spent a long time searching it, but I should have. I didn't.
Should have.
Then I should have. Everybody you're supposed to say Mincha before. But today, there's enough people to say that you don't. I didn't. But, very good. Okay, we'll show you his very good. Moshe, I'm finishing it off. Have a very good night, everybody. I'd start tomorrow with Shabbat Mazel Tov. And I will start
with your 5.